Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. Welcome to my episode 114 review for Dragon Ball Super. Of course, intimidating passion, the birth of a new super warrior. As per usual, before getting into this, whatever this is, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notifications, and let's just dive right in. So, despite the little intro there, the episode in itself wasn't overly bad. I actually found it pretty entertaining slash enjoyable. Um, of course, this week we continue the fight between Kale and Caulifla versus Goku, and we basically pick up where we left off with Kale transforming into a berserker state. Now, I must say, for this episode, I don't know who they brought in for it, but the art in this episode was pretty damn good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was like probably like 60%, 70% of the time. We had some amazing shots, amazing close-up shots, amazing art, just the way the characters and the models are drawn. It just seems pretty damn good, almost even movie quality, I'd say, in some instances. I might be kind of I'm going overboard there, but the art in this episode is to be praised. There are times when it kind of switches back, so you can see the budget goes down and they're kind of drawn a bit, with less detail, but overall the art was pretty good. um so we're actually treated to a pretty entertaining fight. I'd say definitely better than what we were getting before last week with just Caulifla versus Goku. The fight is pretty dynamic. It flows well, and we don't get too much of the yeah. It's actually pretty good. Flows well, and the incorporation of techniques we see in this fight, such as Goku using the solar flare, instant transmission, these are things that are promoted with the theme of the tournament being more about technique and teamwork over power. So that was definitely a plus for the episode as well. Now, going forward in the first half of this episode, we have this, honestly, it feels like this forced moment of character interaction between Kale and Caulifla, because we have Kale, who's berserk, and she's lost control again. She doesn't recognize Caulifla, and we have Caulifla going up to her and giving her the talk no the talk no jutsu, and she basically instantly snaps back to, well, not instantly, but she snaps back, gaining control of her berserker form's full power, and basically going back to a control state, but with the full power of her berserk state. So there's that. I found it to be really forced because it felt as if we're supposed to. I mean, for a scene like this, you'd think we'd be like more invested in these two characters, but the truth and the matter is, you might like them, but like in terms of like true, I don't know. I'm like, I personally, I'm just not as invested in Kale and Caulifla. Like, I'm saying, okay, they're doing this, okay, okay, whatever. Am I supposed to be like emotionally connected to the scene or something? So I kind of I felt a bit disconnected from that scene there. Definitely a bit forced. Took up like majority of the first half of this episode, but there's that. But anyway, moving on. After Kale gains back control, we get some dynamic teamwork between Kale and Caulifla, and we see them taking on Goku, who's in a Super Saiyan 2 state, albeit he's still weakened. Now, if you watch my video in terms of how strong the fusion Kafula should be, or how, that video I did earlier this week, um you would have seen it's like some of the problems I stated that could come up came up in this episode. Now, and I was talking to another YouTuber, Ultra Vegeta, in the comment section on one of his videos as well. So there was that. But the thing is, honestly, it's gotten to the point where I'm saying it's not like what the writers are doing, it's how they're doing it. And this episode just continues to prove that Toei has the way they're implementing things. They're literally contradicting themselves at the end of the day, because You're gonna sit there and tell me that it feels like, all right, the basic thing is that they're cherry picking the power scale, honestly. And the thing is, you're gonna sit there and tell me that back in episode 100, Kale in a berserker state overpowered Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Obviously, the usual excuse is Goku was holding back and all of that, which is all fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with Goku holding back, even if it has to be in Super Saiyan Blue, even though there are problems even with that. But you're going to tell me that Kale gains control of her berserker state, all that power that she used to overwhelm Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and she has it under control, and now she can Goku in a weakened Super Saiyan 2 state is going up against her and Caulifla. Granted, Goku's not winning, but based on how he's doing, it's obviously he's relative. She's not one shotting him, so obviously they're cherry picking the power scale here, and it's absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. And it further sets up the contradiction and brings down the entire arc because the whole gist of this, if we're going by a 1 minute per episode for this tournament. Sorry about that. If we're going by 1 minute per episode, and a lot of shit happens in each minute, and the whole gist is for Goku to conserve on stamina, and it was established that in the episode with Hit, the team of Goku and Hit, that Super Saiyan Blue expends a lot of stamina, hence why he used Super Saiyan God in that episode. So this episode is literally contradicting the fact that why did Goku go blue all those times? Well, especially or specifically against Kale in that episode, if he could keep up with that level of power in Super Saiyan 2. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. And then we eventually get Goku powering up to Super Saiyan God. And Kale can still trade hands with him. You get what I'm saying? And granted, if you ever want to bring up that whole Super Saiyan Blue argument to say, okay, Kale can more than keep up with Super Saiyan God Goku based on her display against Blue, okay, fine. And granted, Goku does kind of one-shot Caulifla essentially in his weakened state, so there's that there. But here's the stupid part again that contradicts everything else. Goku literally withstood a blast from Berserker Kale in his Super Saiyan God state. Once again, adding weight to the argument that he didn't really have to go blue against her, or potentially a lot of times in this tournament at all, based on the fact that Kale in her Berserker state was basically had everybody else worried, which it's just very contradictory in nature, honestly speaking. And despite the episode being highly entertaining, enjoyable, the logic and I guess the sense of continuity where the power scale is concerned is it doesn't make any sense. But I continue. So we get a bit of Frieza in this episode as well, which I definitely liked because them just isolating the fights to Goku and Caulifla and Kale is a bit strange considering that it is a battle royale. So again, to see Frieza was actually refreshing, and he was up against this one guy from Universe 3, which was I thought it was gonna be like comedic relief and get instantly ringed out, but I promise he's gonna be here for a little while, especially based on the preview of next week's episode. So there's that. Of course, Goku gets in the way of Frieza joining the battle against him and Kale and Caulifla. So there was that. Interesting seeing that Frieza was actually. It's always interesting seeing voices' opinion and sayings. that was pretty entertaining. I'm not gonna lie. But there was that. So as I said, Goku eventually goes Super Saiyan God. Basically, one shots Caulifla in his weekend Super Saiyan God state. Still able to trade hands with Kale in our controlled berserker or new controlled berserker state, even though he could withstand a blast. I mean, I've already voiced my opinion. It's stupid. But anyway, so Goku kind of presses them and eventually goes to ring them out, and we finally find out the context where the fusion is concerned. We learn that Champa actually gave them Potara earrings before the tournament. We got to see this through a flashback which was pretty cool to see. It's always very, in terms of the artistic style, or at least just seeing that, well, Shampa's palace, it's always pretty cool. It just has this tone, this mood to it. It very mysterious, very ominous. Well, probably not ominous, but it has that mysterious vibe to it. I like it. So yeah, they do that. Goku fires the Kamehameha, hits them off the platform. They fuse, and they get back on the ring. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the design of Caulifla. I like how she looks. Always love the dual voice um thing where fusions are concerned. It's always cool to hear. Her design's pretty interesting. It's nice, it's refreshing. But here comes the next set of problems now. Kefla, and it's not to say I'm bashing Fusion. I'm a big fan of Fusion. I'm not gonna lie, and the power it brings. I know Fusion is powerful, but it comes on again to not what Toei is doing, but how they're doing it. Seeing Kefla like overpowering Super Saiyan God, even though he's weakened, but overpowering Super Saiyan God Goku in her base form. I know they're kind of like doing it for the hype, just to hype her up, and we get to see a bit of Vegeta versus Top One, them sensing this incredible amount of power, and it's you can see that it adds some weight is added to this, considering that even Jiren, and I believe even when Kale transformed into her berserker state, kind of made Jiren twitch a bit in his meditative state. But Kefla beating up on Super Saiyan God Goku, it makes no sense. And it's as I mentioned in my How Strong Should Kefla Be video, it would be as if you went back to the Battle of Gods arc, and let's come up with a hypothetical situation where we clone Goku, right? And we have the original Goku and Vegeta fuse into Vegeto, and Goku goes Super Saiyan God. It's not a case where we know the multipliers, but we can deduce from storytelling decisions prior that have been established up to this point, how strong fusion should be in comparison to the Super Saiyan God transformation. Now, in that hypothetical situation of mine, obviously, Super Saiyan God Goku is going to beat base Vegeto. So, as I mentioned in that video, if you were to put Caulifla and Kale's base equal to, say, Goku, and they fuse, this base Caulifla should not be beating Super Saiyan God Goku, like weakened or not. Like, like even a small percentage of his power should be way above base Caulifla, but it's just dumb, honestly. Granted, it based on the preview, it does look like Goku will be fighting Super Saiyan God for a bit more, and he'll be Kefla will eventually transform into a Super Saiyan or whatever hybrid form she'll have, I guess. Um, I'm based on based on preview, Goku says he'll have to be using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. But anyway, the episode does end with Kefla basically blitzing Super Saiyan God Goku, without trying. So anyway, that's all I have for this one. All in all, it was an enjoyable episode of Dragon Ball Super, but as I said, the cherry picking of the power skill really brings it down overall. Not only this episode, but the entire arc. It just really introduces the contradictions in the storytelling and writing. So there's that. But anyway, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the episode and my thoughts as well and this review. So Sanjay with you, and I'll see you in the next one, people.